Ah, good. Looks like the auto start actually auto started this time. Of course, it helps that I actually had it set, but I normally have it set and I forget that it's not the default unless I'm copying from an existing stream. Anyway, hello everyone, this is Arafel playing a Super Mario thing. It's a ROM hack of Super Mario World by Rakka's Talkhouse, featuring Demo, this adorable armless Cyclops... armless bipedal Cyclops demon from space. We've gotten a whole 8 exits and 2 streams, so that gives you some idea of how this is considerably more difficult than original Super Mario World. Wow, but wait. I wanted to start from a save because, yeah, I also got the 2 exits from this level, but it did not save after it. So there was the cave where the crystals are up there. Cleared both exits of Bouncing Brigade, and there's the Firehazard Canopy. I was kind of, at the end of last week, I was kind of bouncing back and forth between these two, not making up my mind which one to do, and struggling some with both. I think I want to try Firehazard Canopy first, so... First order of business, don't get hit right away. Yeah, you can see the gimmick here. We have tiny little platforms that don't even show up very well. Fire bouncing everywhere. And yeah, we have to worry about that happening. And of course, you can't kill fire with fire. That would be silly. Fighting fire or fire is an idiom, not something you should literally do. There is a prize block down there. I suspect it has a power-up. I kind of want to see what power-up. But getting hit like that does not help, because that means it'll just revert back to the default. Yeah, I was wondering if maybe there's, well, it's not a cape feather in the hack. They sprite replaced pretty much, graphic replacement, pretty much everything, including those, but... The point is, the thing that lets you float. I'm not even going to bother with the dragon coins, which are RAW coins anyway. That was... Yeah, there's the amazing splitting Charlie. And he knocks me right into a fireball. Of course. Yeah, I pretty much decided how I'm going to handle states, as I was saying, but I think I'm going to be doing with state saves, which I am going to be using to some extent, is if I make progress in clearing exits and there's not a save, or hard save, I'll put a state save there just so I can return to it as needed and not lose progress. As far as in levels, I want to try to avoid doing it, but if I get stuck in a place for too long... Yep, that was... Yeah, those little flames have awfully finicky hitboxes. Yeah, if I get stuck in the same place for too long, I'm just going to say, you know what, this isn't worth it. I'm going to put a state save as a checkpoint. Now, there was at one point I was hopping across the top of this level last time, and I got to a point where I couldn't keep being up here. I had to go down, and I didn't know where I could go down. So let's try not going quite so high. Yeah, this is just a bunch of one-tile jumps. And ambushed by fire out of nowhere. That was actually going pretty well up until then, and then... yeah. A little unfair. and I overshot the platform. Like I said, I don't like one-tile jumps. I particularly don't like these because they're not good graphical representation of where the platform actually is. I think it's centered on the tile itself, so the trees on either side are where the edge of it would be. And yeah, I keep getting ambushed by fires. If I game over, I'll load the state save and continue from there. Which also means I'll have a power-up again. But yeah, I don't want to do that just to get the power-up, because that feels like cheating. Refusing state saves at all is kind of cheating, but the game isn't exactly being fair either. And yeah, I've mentioned this before, there's a little slipperiness to how you control in Super Mario World that I'm kind of not used to from other platformers I've played recently. Like, I don't think Rain World does that. I know Commander Keen doesn't. Just a lot of games, when you stop, you just stop. But Super Mario World has a surprising amount of momentum. You hit the ground, you kind of slide a little bit. Okay, I thought that would land on this branch, but it didn't. Also, a quick reminder, if you haven't played Super Mario World for a while, or notice if you haven't played it at all, if you spin jump, which is your alternate jump, not quite as high, more offense, if you spin jump when you have a fire power-up, you will spew fireballs uncontrollably. And this is usually helpful, because it's kind of a defensive thing to keep enemies off your back, but there are places it gets in the way. Okay, midpoint. And now we've got bullet spam. Yeah, we have a bullet generator. These are not coming out of fixed cannons, they're just periodically firing at whatever height they feel like. Which can be an advantage. It can also mean you get an unexpected bullet to the face whenever. Like that. Also, time's starting to get low, because I kind of took my time. But there's the goal. Okay. And yeah, there's another rock climb down there if you want to brave the jumps underneath the goal. Yeah, goals in Super Mario World, for those who don't know or don't remember, if you go through it, you clear the level. If you go over it, unless you're completely off screen, you clear the level. But if you go under it, you keep going. So you can hide things under goals, you can hide things behind goals where you can go beneath them. And if you're up off the top of the screen, usually when flying, that will also take you past the goal without clearing the level. Alright, so we cleared the level, we got to the Overgrown Fortress. Okay, I think I heard this music earlier. Wasn't this used in a cutscene, I think? So far it's not looking very fortressy, but... okay. This is more fortressy. Looks like a Yoshi's Island castle level, kind of. Has the music from Donkey Kong. Country 2, I think? These are your Buzzy Beetles. Yeah, we've got some neat things going on with the background here. Kind of an incomplete background wall. Might be something up one of those pipes. I don't feel like it's worth risking it. Our happy little fish. Yeah, I need to get used to water physics again. And not do that. I wasn't expecting it to bounce that high. As you could probably guess. Yeah, these are ninjas. But they've been resprited to, I think that's axolotls. Pretty sure that's what that's supposed to be. Should probably get the coins. Sounds like I hit the beetle on one of the plants on the rebound. That hit nothing. Okay, so we're back here already. Not that big of a level. And just slip past the fish without much trouble. Not quite sure what I did there. I think I knocked it out of its shell, and the beetle shell took out the Koopa shell. Alright, this will be the continuation. Okay, we've got... Okay, apparently it was expecting me to holding the jump button. Yeah, I mentioned this, I think, last time. If you're holding the jump button, you fall more slowly. It doesn't really make sense. It's not something you see in a lot of games, unless you have something like the Cape power-up where you're gliding. But yeah, if I just jump down from there without holding the jump button, I go that fast. If I jump down from here while holding the jump button, it's a little bit slower. It's not a huge difference, but it does matter for things like that setup. That's not what I was trying to do, but I survived. Almost jumped into that fireball. That would not have been a good idea. Alright, I will hold B and... that's holding B and run. That did not work either. Supposed to hold just B or just run? Supposed to hold right? Yes, I don't know what the whole designer intended there, and they're not giving any indication of what's intended. So it's kind of guess, and if you guess wrong, it just doesn't work. Setups like that are neat when they work. But for them to work, you need to do the right thing with your button inputs, and there's no indication what the right thing is. I've seen setups like that where they put a big B in coins or something like that. Say, hey, idiot, hold B. No, we did not get any of that here. Alright, I'm going to try holding just B. That did not work. And you can see there's a midpoint up ahead. Alright, we also don't really have a score. It may be tracked internally, but it doesn't show up. We don't see points. Score is just not an emphasis. Wait for the plants to come out and retract. If they're just on the edge of the screen, they'll do their movements, but they won't actually shoot. And sometimes you can take advantage of that. Wait, that made no sense. I was holding forward, run, and jump, and I lost momentum to land on the Koopa properly? Maybe what it is that by holding right, you cancel the momentum of the cannon and get your own natural momentum, which is lower? There's some weirdness in Super Mario World physics. And that's one of the weirdnesses. I'm not going to bother with that. Yeah, I keep falling for that. It's supposed to be a throw upward. Of all things. I guess I saw that coming, but by the time I realized I was already committed to the jump. Huh, you have more leeway there than I thought. Alright, so hold forward, jump, and run. And then be ready to correct after bouncing on the first one. Midpoint. And this music is from Super Marisa World, I think. So you get kind of a remix of a Toho theme with some Super Mario World flavoring. Or one-tile jumps. But the discus shell gets stuck there. Ah. So basically looking forward, I wasn't looking back. Okay, and here I will load because I have 3 exits worth of progress that I will be losing. Okay, that's just on me. Yeah, if you're looking for super elite Mario World pro gamer awesomeness, this is not the stream for that. I wouldn't say I'm bad, but I am definitely not, like, Super Kaizo blow-through nonsense caliber. Dodge the turtles, get hit by the fireball. That was about to wake up. Alright, forward, Y, and B. Because it's not perfectly spaced, so... Yeah, I was thinking the jumps would have it hitting the single platforms, and apparently not. Thought I could dodge between the fireballs. Not quite. And here we have to time a few different things. And there should be the exit there, and there is. Hopefully there's a hard save after this. Demo looks so proud of herself. Okay, we have a hard save, and we are going down the Poison River. Poison in text tends to mean reverse controls, although sometimes it just means you can't stay in the water for long, and other times it just means the water will kill you outright. Okay, there are quite a few bullets in this area. There's also a power-up at the beginning, which is nice. Now, I'm inclined to think we want to stay out of the water. Ducking did not work. We have our saws replaced with mechanical plungers, apparently. And pretty clearly I misjudged that. We again have Donkey Kong Country 2 music, I think. I don't think that's 3. It's the level with the ghost ropes. I think that was 2. Coming from behind now. Yeah, that could have gone better. It's almost not worth it to get the coins, because game overing doesn't mean too much when we've just saved. So lives don't mean much of anything. But power-ups are always helpful, except when they get in the way. Which they sometimes do. That's exactly what happened last time, wasn't it? Oh, midpoint. There's something underneath here. Maybe that's just where you continue if you get killed, have to restart. That would make sense, come to think of it. Okay, bunch of coins. Honestly, the soccer balls fit their theme better than the rocks do. It's Sports Ball Charlie. Why would he dig rocks instead of throw soccer balls at you? Oh, and we're at the end of the level already. Okay. Never did find out what happens if you touch the water, but probably it hurts or outright kills you. And that gets us to the castle already. So I think it's time to check the other direction, but first I want to try something. Get a power-up. If I touch the water, what happens? It just kills you outright. Alright then, I'm going to grab a power-up, start select. And another one, to see what this is, if nothing else. Yep, that's what I expected. Alright, so let's take the other branch of things. I want to see what's out here. We're on State 1. I want State 1 for the world map. Those are immune to fire. Alright, we had the feel of Charlie's. I'll get another cactus. Yeah, I think this was about as far as I got last time. Yeah, because you needed to get up here. is entirely the wrong reaction. You want to stay underneath and not jump up into him. That was kind of weird interaction. Yeah, because the blue ones will try to kick the shells. It looks like it got turned around before it got a chance to. Yeah, and bouncing off of them is always weird. So I think it's semi-random which direction you get thrown. Oh, if you can go up here. That's definitely easier than trying to go through him. Alright, so here, just duck under him. Those 2 coins do mean something. Sometimes that's an indication that there's something in a pipe. Of course, this jump is kind of tricky. I don't really like those jumps where you have basically no headspace. Midpoint. How much did I actually miss? Doesn't look like I can go back anyway. Okay, Untitled Jumps. I had a lot of experience with these recently. Footballs have been replaced with baby Yoshis with football helmets. The Charlie Bunshin no Jutsu. And yeah, that's the level. Not really sure why I struggled with it so much last time. Probably was just getting tired and impatient. It's honestly not that bad. Yoshi's warehouse. And there's a key symbol next to the name, which indicates there is a key exit. Because ghost houses don't have that colored dot that you could tell from. Okay, we have 2 pipes. Start with the brown one. Maybe gray. Yeah. That was not a good idea. Yeah, it's one of those setups where the ceiling comes down, and you need to find spaces where you won't get crushed. Let's see what's in the green pipe. There's the key. We need a P-switch. There's a P-switch, but... it's kind of locked in there. Okay, there's a yellow Koopa. If we give that a shell, it will turn into the rainbow shell. And bonk the thing by its side. Actually, can I just hit it with a springboard? I don't remember if these are solid enough for that. Yeah, but here's the shell, so this is what you're supposed to do. Although you're not supposed to hit it. Now, R is for reset door. Yeah, does it matter if I hit these blocks first? Maybe? Alright, need the springboard. Right, I can't hit it with a springboard because I would need the springboard to get up that high. So you can't use the springboard and carry the springboard at the same time. Is that close enough? It is not. The trouble is getting it in there without actually hitting the thing. Shells are not persistent, so it will respawn and go back to its original spot. Okay, good. Oh no, that just frees it. So... I guess it wanted down here for something? Wait for this to wear off, it will drop down there and then hit that other block. Which gives us a vine. Which comes up to a door. And through the door is this P-switch and the lock. Alright, I want to hit that to collect those, come back over here. Grab these. And that should be all we need. So yeah, it's a bit of a puzzle, but not too bad. And we get a hard save, and the switch where Yoshi jumps a lot. Okay, we got Yoshi's Island boss music. Alright, I think we need to fly. And one of the things to keep in mind with Yoshi flying is that if you keep the shell in his mouth too long, it will get swallowed, and then suddenly you're not flying. So every so often you want to land, spit it out, eat it again. It looks like this is kind of a maze. Okay, congratulations, you made it to the end of the pipe maze. Go through the exit pipe to continue on to push the blue switch. Just want to make sure there's nothing else up here. Or maybe there is. Or maybe this was the pipe they meant. Okay then. Hey there, guy. You just pushed a massive button which is big-ish. Seriously? Seriously. And that's our blue switch palace. Yeah. Like I mentioned before, hacks like to save the yellow switch for later and the green switch for last because those blocks give power-ups. Whereas red and blue are just platforms and obstacles. Okay, let's try to get the other exit to Yoshi's warehouse, and I think that will be it for today. Yeah, I think you want to look where the railing is. It also looks like we might have a ghost generator here. Or, no, maybe those are just placed. Never mind, we're seeing more. pretty sure I want to be up here. But bouncing on a ghost works as well as not, and... No, I need the B-switch, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, there wouldn't be one. So, yeah. Take the bottom path, get the B-switch, take the top path. Don't get crushed by the ceiling. Yeah, if you see a space spot, use it. Should be safe underneath existing platforms. No, that's not a high enough jump. No, the P-switch has been abducted by the ceiling. I forget whether those come back or not. And they don't. So I might as well just get crushed now. Yeah, P-switches I think are also persistent, which means they don't despawn. Which means if you get one stuck in the ceiling, it's going to stay stuck in the ceiling. Alright, so keep the switch with me this time. Safe here as long as no ghosts come along at a bad elevation. Some railing here, which will be safe. Yeah, that's actually really good visual conveyance. Okay, there's platforms there. Not fast enough. Yeah, I was thinking I was going to have to make a big running leap across there, and it's like, no, you just wait for the platforms and then rush. Like I've mentioned, I have seen this game played before, but it's been a while. So a lot of the details are not in my head. I could bounce off a ghost to get up here like I did before, but it's trickier when you're holding something because you have to drop it to do a spin jump. Yeah, you have to kind of anticipate. And there's a midpoint, there's a door to the next area. And it comes to you. Alright, we've got pipes to the left, pipes to the right. Let's start with left again. Okay, that's just a goal. Is that it? Okay, I need to see if there's something through the other pipe. I'll rewind a bit. And that just goes back there. Okay. Apparently that's just... If you go through the pipe on the right-hand side, you go back to the same room and try again, and that's it. So... Not much of a puzzle. Yeah, we made some good progress this time. We got through the Firehazard Canopy, we got through the fortress, we got through the poison water level, we got through the cave full of Charlie's kicking baby Yoshis, and we got both extras of the ghost house and the blue switch palace, so... and a hard save here, so that's good progress. I'll let the music play for a bit. Yeah, this has been Araphon playing a Super Mario thing. I should have a link to where you can find that in the description. And yeah, if you're interested in playing these yourself, note you will need to use ZSNES for it to run properly because it has quirks that don't work on a better emulator, or better meaning more accurate. But yeah, it's pretty neat. Oh, and happy Mother's Day to those who celebrate. Enjoy your weekend!